I got people in the chat calling me a duck. Meanwhile, I'm living my absolute best life. I don't know if it's considered ducking when you're living good.
John Jones versus the heavyweight fight will happen. Relax. I'll announce that soon.
John Jones doesn't want to take the risk at the moment, so I actually have a meeting tonight about it, so I'm going to find out what happens tonight, believe it or not. So tonight will probably be Hunter. I'm not sure if Dana's going to be there or not, but Hunter is the guy who does the deals, and we just go in a room, chat. It used to be done over the phone and stuff, but with the bigger fights, it's usually, when you talk about world title fights, it's usually done face-to-face. So we had a meeting in New York about it.
The wait for Tom Aspinall versus John Jones fight is increasing day by day, but the fans have got no official confirmation yet. Dana White said this fight would happen, but he didn't announce the date. Meanwhile, John Jones is busy enjoying his life as he doesn't think he is ducking anyone. And during a recent Instagram live video, fans started calling him a duck, but John Jones said he doesn't consider enjoying your life as ducking.
I got people in the chat calling me a duck. Meanwhile, I'm living my absolute best life. I don't know if it's considered ducking when you're living good. I don't think it works like that.
On the other hand, Tom Aspinall recently shared that a meeting has been scheduled between him and John Jones to start discussions about making their fight happen. However, Aspinall admitted that the bout ultimately hinges on Jones, particularly when it comes to financial demands. While Aspinall is ready to fight at any time, he believes Jones is seeking a significant payday, likely due to his age, injury history, and the high risk involved in facing a dangerous contender like Aspinall.
I will fight whenever, wherever he wants, but it's down to money, I think.
When you say he's afraid to take the risk, what do you mean by that?
I just think that at this stage in his career, he's had an amazing career. I just think that he's like 37, 38 years old, but not only that, he's got a million miles on the clock. So he's got a lot of damage on the body. He's took a lot of shots to the head. And that's not me saying anything negative about it. That's the reality of it. And I'm sure John Jones is aware of that. When you put him in with, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but I'm literally the most dangerous guy in the UFC if you look at the stats. When you put him in with a guy of my size who has them credentials at this stage in his career, I think John's a smart guy and he realises that, so he wants compensating financially for it.
Tom Aspinall revealed that he's never had a direct conversation with John Jones, as all communication has gone through UFC officials. He shared that Dana White was present at their last meeting, something unusual for him since discussions are typically led by Hunter Campbell, the UFC's behind-the-scenes executive who handles most fighter negotiations. Aspinall expects Hunter to take the lead in the upcoming talks as well. While smaller matters used to be handled over the phone, Tom noted that major title fights are now discussed in person. Their last meeting took place in New York, and the next one is scheduled for London.
It's done. So you got Dana White, who is, everybody knows Dana White, he's the face of the UFC. The last meeting I had, Dana was actually there, which is the first for me. Usually it's done with another guy called Hunter. Hunter like stays in the shadows a little bit. Like, he's the guy who all the fighters speak to directly. So tonight will probably be Hunter. I'm not sure if Dana's going to be there or not, but Hunter is the guy who does the deals. And we just go in a room, chat. It used to be done over the phone and stuff, but with the bigger fights, it's usually, when you're talking about world title fights, it's usually done face-to-face. So we had a meeting in New York about it a few months ago, and now we're here in London about to have a meet.
UFC President Dana White also reassured fans that the highly anticipated heavyweight title fight between John Jones and Tom Aspinall is on track. While announcing the upcoming fight cards, White expressed full support for this matchup, stating that the fight between Jones and Aspinall will happen and urged everyone to be patient. White confirmed that an official announcement will be made soon, signaling that negotiations are progressing behind the scenes.
Tom Aspinall, I didn't read it. I told you guys already, we'll get Aspinall versus Jones done. John Jones versus the heavyweight fight will happen. Just relax. I'll announce that soon.
Chael Sonnen also expressed strong confidence that the fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall is already a done deal behind the scenes. However, he pointed out that Jon Jones often says different things publicly than what's happening privately. Sonnen explained that when Jones gets the official call from the UFC with the name of his next opponent, the real decision happens then. According to Chael, despite the public posturing, Jones understands the game and will fall in line once the UFC makes things official.
I am confident enough to tell you that that fight is done, though. I'm telling you, this Jon Jones business, Jones will say a lot of things to the media. When he gets that phone call, here's the guy you're fighting. Do you understand? Yes.
Chael Sonnen firmly stated that the Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight is not only going to happen, but it will be the next fight for Jones. He guaranteed that fans won't see Jon Jones return against anyone else but Aspinall. Sonnen dismissed reports claiming that Jones is the one holding up the fight, calling them false. He explained that while Jones has made various comments in the media, the true test comes when he gets a call from Dana White. According to Sonnen, what's said in that moment is what really matters, and there was no hesitation or refusal from Jones when that call came. Therefore, any claims that Jones is delaying or ducking the fight are inaccurate.
This fight is going to happen. In fact, this fight is going to happen next. You will not see Jon Jones fight and it not be Tom Aspinall. I can give you that as an assurance. I can go further. You will see Jon Jones fight Tom Aspinall. All the reports that you've heard that Jon is holding this fight up, they're not true. Jon has gone to the media and he's had his fun. The litmus test is when that phone rings and it's Dana White, what is said in that moment. That's the only way you go into the category of delaying and or ducking. That did not happen. That is a false report.
On the other hand, Tom Aspinall admitted he's unsure of what to expect from the upcoming meeting, describing it as a new and somewhat surprising experience for him. He revealed that the UFC informed him they would be going over a full plan during the meeting, something he's never encountered before in his fighting career, whether in or outside the UFC. Typically, Aspinall is simply given a fight date and location, and he shows up prepared. He found the idea of an in-depth planning session unusual, and said he's genuinely curious about what needs to be discussed, especially since, in his view, it's a straightforward situation, two fighters, and he's already ready to go.
This is what I don't understand, to be honest, because they actually said to me that we're going to discuss the plan tonight and they're going to give me the full breakdown. And for me personally, I've now had 10 UFC fights, and I've had however many other fights in my career as well outside the UFC. I've never been given a plan before. It's just like, this is the date, let me know the location, when, and I'll show up. So this is really rare for me. I don't know what to expect. I'm really interested actually to see like, what is the plan? Do you know, like, there's two guys, I'm one of them, I'm in. What's the plan? So I'm interested, I don't know.
Tom Aspinall expressed his frustration, stating that he can't do much to make the Jon Jones fight happen, and that the ball is in Jones's court, primarily due to financial factors. Aspinall made it clear that he's ready to fight whenever and wherever, but if the fight doesn't come to fruition, he's prepared to move on.
What do you think you can do to make that fight happen?
Me personally, I can't do anything. I think it's just down to money, I think, on his side. So I will fight whenever, wherever he wants, but it's down to money, I think.
Meanwhile, Curtis Blaydes is fed up with this situation as he recently voiced his opinion on Instagram, expressing that Jon Jones should be stripped of the title, emphasizing that the discussion is over. With Jones holding the belt for 785 days and defending it just once, it seems the focus is shifting toward making the Tom Aspinall fight happen. Blaydes believes it's time for the UFC to move forward with this fight as the situation has gone on long enough. Curtis Blaydes said via Instagram, "Jon Jones should be stripped, end of discussion." Curtis Blaydes also gave Tom Aspinall a slight 55% edge over Jon Jones in their potential matchup, but acknowledged that defeating Jones would not be an easy task. Blaydes emphasized Jones's vast skill set and championship experience, pointing out that these attributes make Jones a constant threat in any fight. He stressed that Aspinall would face a significant challenge due to Jones's ability to adapt and perform under pressure, making it clear that the fight would be far from straightforward for Aspinall.
I think Aspinall beats him.
Yeah, I would pick him. Like, I would go 55% him. Obviously, it's not gonna be a landslide. Like, we're going against John Jones, he's a legend. He's got all the weapons.
Meanwhile, despite his frustration, Tom Aspinall spoke highly of John Jones, calling him one of the greatest fighters in MMA history. He acknowledged that while no one in the UFC is ever truly complete, Jones has come closer to that ideal than anyone else over the past 15 years. However, Aspinall also highlighted the wear and tear Jones has accumulated throughout his career. He noted that Jones is now up against someone with serious knockout power, himself, and believes it will be extremely difficult for Jones to go a full 25 minutes without taking damage. Aspinall emphasized that he only needs one clean shot to end the fight, and he's confident he can land it.
I think John is amazing at MMA. I think he's literally you can never be a complete UFC fighter. It's impossible. That's one of the things that draws me to the sport so much, is why I'm so obsessed about it. It's because you're constantly chasing perfection, but you're never going to get it. No one's ever going to be a perfect, complete fighter. But John, in my opinion, if you look at his body of work over the last 15 years, he's like as close as you can get to perfection as possible. That being said, he's got a lot of miles on the clock, and he's fighting one of the most concussive punchers in UFC history. And I just think I can exploit it. Like, I think to get out the way of me for 25 minutes at this point in his career without getting hit once, and that's all I need is just one, I think that's going to be very difficult for anybody.
Colby Covington also accused John Jones of ducking Tom Aspinall, saying Jones is scared and avoiding the real challenge. He claimed John is choosing easier fights to protect his record and legacy. Colby also questioned John's GOAT status, calling him a coward and pointing to past controversies as proof he's damaging his own legacy.
I know he has to get that win, but do you think Tom Aspinall's the guy to beat John Jones?
For sure. John's scared of him. He's ducking him, man. He don't want to fight. That's why he's like, oh, I'll vacate the title. I'll fight the number 10 guy. Fucking scared. Why do people think John Jones is a GOAT? He literally destroyed his legacy by ducking Tom Aspinall. The guy's a coward, and he's a woman beater. He beat his John Jones.
Tom Aspinall further acknowledged John Jones's significant edge and experience. He pointed out that Jones has competed in numerous high-pressure, high-stakes bouts throughout his career, while Tom has only had a handful of those moments in the UFC so far. He recognized that this type of experience plays an important role, particularly when it comes to staying composed and making smart decisions under pressure inside the octagon.
Oh, well, he's got a lot more experience than I do. He knows how to stay in there. He's fought guys similar to me before. He's had these plenty like massive fight experience where I've only main evented the UFC like 4 or 5 times now. He's done that for the last 15 years. Do you know what I mean? So that stuff, from the outside looking in, you probably think, oh, that's a load of rubbish. Like, what's it? Just a fight. But being in those situations, those high pressure situations and those massive fights, if you've been there a lot of times before,
Yeah.
in comparison to someone like me who's been there 4 or 5 times before, it does make a big difference. And I'm aware of that. I'm completely aware of it. But that's where he has the advantage, is the experience.
However, David Loiseau, a former UFC champion and TKO world champion, has firmly dismissed rumors suggesting that John Jones is avoiding Tom Aspinall. He confidently predicted an easy victory for the reigning champion, asserting that Jones is currently the best in the division, with no one coming close to his level. In a recent interview, Loiseau emphasized that John Jones always finds a way to win, regardless of the circumstances, and he believes that Jones will have no trouble figuring out how to beat Aspinall.
Who's the best right now? It's John Jones. It's not even close.
You think he beats Tom?
Absolutely.
Well, that easily?
John Jones will always find a way to win.
Even at his age.
Mark my words.
Father Time.
Mark my words. John Jones will find a way to win.
David Loiseau praised John Jones for more than just his athleticism and intelligence, highlighting his heart as a key factor in his success. Loiseau pointed out that Jones possesses all the necessary skills, along with a strong support system, including the legendary Greg Jackson in his corner. He referred to Jones and his team as masterminds, emphasizing that John is far from being reckless. Loiseau believes that Jones is taking his time before stepping into the octagon with Tom Aspinall because he's carefully analyzing and studying the matchup. According to Loiseau, Jones's thoughtful approach makes him an even more dangerous opponent.
He's not only super smart, athletic. He's got heart. He's got all the skills. He's got Greg Jackson with him. He's got a solid team. He's got these masterminds with him. John Jones is not stupid. John Jones is taking his time before stepping in there with Aspinall because he's analyzing, he's studying, he's doing his homework. John Jones is a bad man.
David Loiseau repeated that John Jones is not only a dangerous fighter, but also highly intelligent. He emphasized that Jones isn't someone who rushes into fights just to satisfy public pressure or external expectations. According to Loiseau, Jones treats fighting like warfare, and every move is strategic and well thought out. That mindset, he said, is exactly what made John a champion and allowed him to stay on top for so long. When asked whether he personally would take the fight against Tom Aspinall if he were in Jones's position, Loiseau said he would suggest confidence in both the fight and Jones's ability to handle it.
He's smart. He's not going to go out there and just please the crowd and, oh, okay, they want me to fight him in June. Okay, I'll fight. No. This is warfare. This is war. Everything is calculated. That's why he became the champ and stayed the champ.
Former UFC featherweight and recent GFL signee Mike Grundy shared his thoughts on Tom Aspinall and the potential fight with John Jones. Having trained with Tom, Grundy said he always believed Aspinall had what it takes to become UFC champion. He praised Tom's speed, skill, and overall talent, saying his success is well earned. From day one, Grundy saw championship potential in him and felt Tom is exactly where he deserves to be.
So can you tell me about training with Tom Aspinall and his rise to the UFC? Did you always see that coming?
Me personally, I always said Tom's going to be a UFC champion. Just because, you know, his ability, he's very fast, he's very talented, and he's done well, and he's I suppose he deserves where he's at. And yeah, I always said from day one that he'll be a UFC champion.
Mike Grundy believes Tom Aspinall could be the one fighter capable of defeating John Jones. While he acknowledged Jones as a legendary figure in the sport, Grundy suggested that Tom might be his kryptonite. He expressed confidence that Aspinall has the unique skill set and attributes needed to challenge Jones in a way no one else has.
How do you see that fight with him and John Jones going?
Yeah, I mean, John Jones is an absolute legend, isn't he? But I think Tom's his kryptonite, I'd say. So I think Tom's the only guy who could possibly beat him.
Daniel Cormier finds the situation between Tom Aspinall and John Jones both unusual and difficult to fully grasp. He explained that if he were in Aspinall's position, facing a legendary fighter like Jones, he'd expect a huge payday and would push for substantial compensation. Cormier doesn't believe Jones is afraid of Aspinall. He likely views him as just another opponent he can defeat. However, Cormier also noted that Jones is aware of the danger Aspinall presents. He highlighted that when the early betting odds were released, Jones was actually listed as the underdog, something that's rarely happened in his storied career, where he's almost always been the favorite.
This whole Tom Aspinall, John Jones thing, for lack of a better word, is just weird. For me, it's just weird. Like, I don't get it. If I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to be compensated. I want to say it. I want that you money. John Jones shooting you straight. Because at the end of the day, guys, I will tell you, not afraid. Tom Aspinall to John Jones is just another guy that he would fight and that he believes he can beat. But what he does want is to get paid. And I think he recognizes the dangers in the fight. I mean, when this line opened, John Jones was an underdog. John Jones was the underdog. I don't even know if there's ever been a time in his career where someone has been favored to beat John Jones. And I think that concerns him.
However, Kamaru Usman regards Tom Aspinall as the most dangerous heavyweight and the biggest challenge to John Jones's reign. However, he advised Jones to ensure his financial situation is settled before agreeing to such a risky fight. Usman emphasized the need for careful planning and strategy before taking on an opponent like Aspinall.
You hit the nail on the head. I do think Tom Aspinall is the most dangerous heavyweight right now. 100% the biggest threat to pry that belt away from John Jones. But John has got to get that back.
Demetrius Johnson acknowledged Tom Aspinall's impressive skills, but believes John Jones would likely defeat him with relative ease. Rampage Jackson also expressed a preference for seeing Jones fight Aspinall than any other fighter, as he feels Jones holds a clear advantage in that matchup. Mighty Mouse also speculated that John Jones' reported $30 million asking price might be one of the factors delaying the fight.
John Jones will smoke Tom Aspinall.
I don't know, man.
Man, he'll smoke Tom Aspinall.
strong.
Tom Aspinall is athletic. I think Tom Aspinall would try to take the fight to John Jones. And it'll be interesting to see. Like, I'd rather see that fight over Alex Pereira.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
I agree.
Like,
I would like to see that fight over Alex, but come on, man. Aspinall is a great fighter.
Yep.
He's a good champion.
Aspinall.
That's what I said. John Jones would smoke Aspinall.
Yeah.
Smoke him.
I can't wait to see. I hope it happens. That's the fight that needs to happen. I
Why-
think Tom Aspinall versus John Jones needs to happen.
Why do you think there's so much friction there? Why do you think it's not happening? Why? Because we see so
I think
much.
John
on the
Jones said
internet.
he wants $30 million.
The wait for John Jones versus Tom Aspinall continues, with fans eager for official confirmation. While Dana White has assured that the fight is in the works, no date has been announced. Aspinall remains ready and willing, but the final decision lies with Jones, especially when it comes to financial terms. Until contracts are signed, the heavyweight division stands on pause as one of the biggest fights in UFC history still hangs in the balance.